and Seaton's presentation of the Ellery Queen Mystery Theater. And we're presenting Mr. Short and Mr. Long. It's Saturday night, time for Ellery Queen. And when the kitchen clock warns, hurry up mothers, time for the youngsters to come running home. Take it easy and solve the school lunch problem with Spam. S-P-A-M. Spam is that delicious meat originated and made by Hodges. It's packed in a handy can, all ready to eat as soon as it's open. No fuss, no bother. Just cut off slices of this taste-tempting meat, put between slices of buttered bread, and say to the hungry youngsters, have a Spamwich. A perfect combination of sweet and juicy pork shoulder and tender ham. Spam has an extra goodness and meaty flavor all its own. Youngsters go for Spam in a big way. Try Spam tomorrow. When you see the easy recipes on the label, you'll discover you can serve Spam cold or hot. It's America's top mealtime aid. So ask your food dealer for S-P-A-M, Spam. And now, the Ellery Queen Mystery Theater presentation of Mr. Short and Mr. Long.
Ellery Queen's apartment. Ellery is in bed with a cold. Nikki is firmly ministering to him.
Drink the rest of your orange juice, Ellery.
Nikki, I don't want orange juice. I want to get out of bed.
With that cough, drink it.
Nikki, it's just a cold. We got a lot of work to do on my novel.
You're staying in bed, Mr. Queen, until you stop coughing. You can dictate from bed.
All right, get your notebook.
Never knew a man yet who didn't act like a puppy with a sore nose when he was sick. Inspector?
Yes, Nikki, how's the sick man? Say, that's a bad cough, son.
And he wants to get out of bed, Inspector.
Oh, he does? Well, he's not going to. And it's a shame, too.
It's a shame. What are you looking so gay about, Dad?
It's a great day, son. Yes, sir. I've got a rendezvous with Velie to close the book on the career of a bird who should have been in jail long ago.
Who's that, Dad?
Little Jim.
Little Jim?
Who is Little Jim, Inspector?
James Phillimore, Nikki, the 20% king.
I have to be laid up. Look, I'm getting out of bed here.
You're staying right where you are. We were tipped off that little Jim made a reservation on this morning's plane to South America. So I threw a squad around his house last night, and we'll grab Mr. Phillimore when he leaves with that satchel full of John Q. Public's dough.
What's his racket, Inspector?
He invests your money for you, guarantees 20% interest.
But how can he keep paying 20%?
It's very simple, Nikki. Little Jim takes your $100, pays out 20, that leaves him 80.
But Ellery, he can't do that indefinitely.
Oh, there's always a fresh crop of suckers, Nikki. The new money keeps paying off the old interest.
But eventually, a lot of people must want all their money back.
Yeah, and when that unhappy moment comes, Nikki, little Jim packs up the remaining assets, departs hastily for cooler climes. Same old story. Dad, remember William F. Miller and his Franklin Syndicate in 1899?
Yep. Well, this time little Jim waited too long. So we're going to recover the sucker money and wrap Mr. James Phillimore up for immediate delivery to the DA. Nikki, take care of Ellery.
I will, Inspector.
Blast it, Dad. Let me know how you make out.
Avoid 5 o'clock shadow. Use gem blades. Use gem blades.
Scene 2. Exterior of the Phillimore house. Sergeant Dealey is skulking behind a bush. Inspector Queen approaches quietly.
Hi, Inspector.
Morning, Velie. How goes it?
Smooth as a baby's neck, Inspector. Not a soul's left the house since we checked little Jim in last night. I've been watching from the front gate here. Huh, here comes little Jim now.
Marching out of his front door with his black bag, cocky as an Irish cop. Down, Velie. Let him walk right into the arms of the law.
What a runt.
5'1" of pure cussedness. Wait a minute. Why's he stopped? What's he looking up at the sky for?
Says to himself, looks like rain, so we'll turn around and go back in the house for an umbrella. And there he goes, Inspector.
Where, Velie? I've lost him under the portico in front of the door. Let's get closer. I want to make sure he doesn't pull a sneak.
They hurry towards the house, dodging from bush to bush.
That little twerp is liable to pull anything. There he is, Inspector. See him now?
Yeah, back into the house. We'll wait right here, Velie, till he comes out again. Got to nab him with that bag on him.
Inspector, if little Jim gets out of this house without us and a boy spotting him, he ain't a fraud artist. He's a magician.
Pepsi Cola hits the spot. 12 full ounces, that's a lot. Twice as much for a nickel. Pepsi Cola is a good story.
Scene 3. 15 minutes has passed. Inspector Queen paces in front of the Phillimore house restlessly. Sergeant Velie appears from the side driveway.
Well, Velie, what do the men say?
They say nobody's left the house, Inspector, so little Jim's still inside.
15 minutes to get an umbrella? Use your head, Velie. Phillimore spotted us. He's up to something. I'm not waiting any longer.
They run to the front door.
Ring that bell, Velie.
I tell you, Inspector, it's okay.
The door opens.
Ah, who's this people?
Yes, sir.
Where's little Jim?
Beg pardon, sir.
James Phillimore. Where is he?
Oh, Mr. Phillimore is not here, sir.
Now listen, Daddy Longlegs, little Jim come out of here 15 minutes ago, ducked right back in, and he ain't been out since.
I'm Inspector Queen of Police Headquarters. Quit stalling. Where's Phillimore?
But you must be mistaken, sir. Mr. Phillimore did leave 15 minutes ago, but I didn't see him return.
Well, we did. Velie, search the house. I'll wait here in the foyer with this man.
Phillimore's last stand, huh? Playing hard to get.
Velie disappears up the front staircase.
So you're covering up for him. You're covering up for him also. Who are you?
Mr. Phillimore's man, sir. Jonathan Biggs, sir.
Ha! Quite a team, aren't you? Phillimore's a 5-footer and you're 6'4", Mr. Biggs, if you're an inch.
Yes, sir. Mr. Phillimore wouldn't engage anyone but a very tall person. He's so sensitive about his height, sir.
Yes, these little guys cause all the trouble.
I wouldn't know about that, sir, but Mr. Phillimore gets furious if you refer to him as little. That's why he wears a beard, sir. I believe it makes him feel bigger and more masterful.
Well, he'll get a quick trim in Sing Sing. Velie, what's taking you so long?
I guess Jimmy boy wants to play peekaboo, Inspector.
I'll peekaboo him, Biggs. Biggs, why is it so cold in this house? Run out of oil ration coupons?
Oh, no, sir, we burn coal.
Then why don't you burn some? The temperature here would discourage an Eskimo.
I was about to go down to the cellar, sir, when you arrived. We're expecting coal delivery this morning. I was going to put the last few shovelfuls in the furnace.
Don't let me keep you, but come right back.
Biggs leaves.
Brr. Velie, how long does it take to find one man in one house?
You tell me, Inspector, I'm still looking.
You worked too hard, you ate too fast. The cheesecake made you greedy. But your aching head and stomach hear this message from Old Speedy. Alka-Seltzer, plop, plop, fizz, fizz. Oh, what a relief it is. Plop, plop, fizz, fizz. Oh, what a relief it is. Ah, those speedy Alka-Seltzer bubbles burst into action to relieve your upset stomach and aching head fast. Use only as directed. Oh, what a relief it is. Alka-Seltzer.
Scene 4, interior of the Phillimore house. 30 minutes has passed. Inspector Queen is still in the foyer. Biggs has returned from the cellar. Sergeant Velie appears, shaking his head.
What's the matter, Velie? Where's little Jim?
Inspector, I'm baffled.
I told you, sir, Mr. Phillimore isn't here.
Then you didn't cover everything, Velie.
Is that so? I looked my eyes out, every room.
Velie, I'm in no mood for gags.
Who's gagging? I'm not gagging, Inspector. He ain't here.
Did you look in the basement, the attic, all the closets?
Yeah, I tell ya, I looked every place, Inspector.
But, Velie, you stay here in the house. I'll send a few of the boys in to help you make another search. Meanwhile, you, Biggs, don't leave this house. Is that clear?
Perfectly, sir.
Velie, keep your eye on this long drink of water. He's too smooth to suit me. Another thing, I'm giving strict orders to the men on duty outside that no one leaves this house except you and me. Unless he's got one of my cards as a pass and signed by me to boot.
But, Inspector, I tell you, little Jim ain't here.
He must be here. Biggs, get out of my way. I'm going home and talk to Ellery.
This is it, L&M filters. It stands out from all the rest. Miracle tip, much more flavor. L&M's got everything. It's the best. Superior taste because of L&M's superior tobacco. Tasty, full of flavor, and light, and mild. No doubt about it, L&M is America's best filter tip cigarette. It's the best.
Scene 5, the Queen apartment. Inspector Queen has returned home and told Ellery, still sick in bed, the astonishing story of the man who went back into his house for an umbrella and vanished. The inspector, Nikki, and Ellery are in Ellery's bedroom.
You got it all down, Nikki?
Yes, Ellery, full description of Mr. Phillimore's house and all the rooms.
Now, Dad, you and Velie saw James Phillimore come out through the front door. You saw him pause, look up at the sky, and you unquestionably saw him go back inside?
How many times do I have to tell you? He went back in.
Then that's a fact. After little Jim went back into the house, no one left it, you say.
My men had every possible exit covered, son.
Well, then obviously little Jim is still there.
But Ellery, Sergeant Velie and the other detectives searched every nook and cranny.
That's what makes this such an interesting problem, Nikki. Dad, let's start at the bottom of the house and work up. How about the cellar?
Solid concrete. Floor, ceiling, walls, all tapped.
Any packing cases in the cellar? Old trunks?
No. All we found down there were 2 coal bins, one empty, the other with a couple of shovels full of coal in it. The basement's out, Ellery.
What about the ground floor?
3 rooms, living room, study, kitchen.
Oh, living room first, Dad. How about the fireplace?
Thoroughly investigated. Also all the walls, floor, ceiling. Not only in that room, but in every room in the house, Ellery.
Does the living room have a grand piano?
By Jove, yes. I wonder if Velie looked in there.
Note, Nikki, search interior of piano. Now, the kitchen, closets, pantry,
All covered.
refrigerator. Remember, Fillmore's only 5'1" and skinny as a spindle.
I'd better check with Velie on that, son.
Check, refrigerator.
The study. Is there a safe?
Yes, Phillimore's man Biggs opened it for us. Nothing in the safe but unimportant papers.
And what about the foyer, Dad?
A suit of armor.
I'll bet that's it.
You'd lose, Nikki. We looked inside.
I suppose all the closets were searched too?
Everyone in the house, upstairs and down, and the bathrooms, and the attic, and the roof.
Well, that's the whole house. Oh, wait, what about the garage?
We went through it.
Did you search the car?
I left that to Velie. However, I'd better check it personally. Note car trunk compartment, please, Nikki.
Nikki, go back with Dad to Fillmore's house. When Dad checks the piano, refrigerator, and car, phone me the results.
I can see it coming though. Mr. James Phillimore isn't hiding in any of those places, Ellery.
Well, I'm inclined to agree, Nikki. Toughest case all winter, and I have to investigate it on my back.
Tonight, before you go to bed, take an inspection tour of your icebox. How's that Pabst Blue Ribbon supply holding up? Got enough bottles and cans? Remember, we're in the middle of a relaxing weekend. You'll be entertaining guests or listening to the radio, or getting that hungry, thirsty feeling when you'll want a snack of cheese and crackers, topped off with a tall, cool foamer of Pabst Blue Ribbon beer. Tomorrow morning, when your dealer says, "What did you have?" say, "Pabst Blue Ribbon. What else?"
Scene 6, the Phillimore house. 30 minutes has passed. Inspector Queen, Nikki, Velie, and Biggs are in the lower hall. A doorbell rings from the rear of the house.
Biggs, what's that bell?
The rear door, Inspector.
They all troop into the kitchen.
Velie, unlock it and slide the bolt.
He obeys and opens the door. A workman with sooty hands and face stands outside.
Yeah.
Coal company. Got 2 tons to deliver.
It's about time. It was warm here for a while, but now it's getting cold again.
Oh, well, if it's okay.
Nah, don't step inside, fella.
Velie, go outside with this man. Let him run his coal chute into the cellar window to the bin, but he's not to set foot in any part of the house.
Yes, sir. Anybody with you, my anthracite friend?
I gotta help out.
Stick with both of them every second, Velie.
Velie leaves, Inspector locks and bolts the door.
Now, Nikki, let's you and I search those places Ellery mentioned.
Spry with cake improver. Spry with cake improver. Spry means higher, richer, lighter, finer textured cake. Spry means easy, sure success with every cake you make. Spry with cake improver. Spry with cake improver. It's S-P-R-Y, Spry, and it's one bowl method for the most delicious cakes ever. For no other shortening has Spry's marvelous cake improver. Try Spry.
Scene 7, the rear doorbell rings. Inspector Queen unlocks and unbolts the door.
Oh, Velie. Well, what's about the coal?
It's in, Inspector.
Hey, this big guy says I gotta have a pass to let me and my helper out. What goes on here anyway?
Here's your pass. Velie, get him out. Get out with him and better examine that truck just to make sure.
Velie and the coal man leave, and the inspector refastens the door.
Nikki, where are you?
In the study alcove off the foyer, Inspector.
He joins her in the study alcove. She is on the phone.
Whom are you talking to, Nikki?
Ellery on the phone. He's furious.
Nothing in the piano, Nikki?
Only strings and sounding board, Ellery.
Don't be cute. Refrigerator?
Filled with goodies. Which reminds me, I'm starved.
A man vanishes like a Cheshire cat and she's hungry. What about the car in the garage?
He's not in it, Ellery. Now what shall I tell the inspector to do?
Blessed if I know. Anything new happen?
A coal truck just delivered 2 tons of coal.
What? Let me talk to Dad.
Your celebrated son wishes a word with you, Inspector.
She hands the telephone to Inspector Queen.
Now, Ellery, keep your shirt on. I kept the 2 Coalmen from entering the house, and Velie was with them every minute, so little Jim can't have sneaked out through the cellar windows.
I realize that, Dad, but don't you realize that he may be playing hide and seek with you?
Come again?
Well, while you're searching one part of the house, Phillimore may have been hiding in another part. When you came to his part, he slipped off to still another place. How do you know he wasn't in the coal bin when the coal started sliding down the chute? How do you know he isn't buried under the coal at this very moment?
I'm ready to believe anything.
You better check, Dad, and call me back.
All right.
What's Ellery say, Inspector?
As soon as Velie gets back into the house, Nikki, we start shoveling coal.
And for goodness sake, Inspector, while you're at it, put some in that furnace.
Miracle Whip has a flavor so pleasing. Miracle Whip tastes so lively, so teasing. Miracle Whip, only one of its kind. Miracle Whip, best salad dressing you'll find. Miracle Whip is the only one of its kind because it's a different type of salad dressing. Made from a secret craft recipe, Miracle Whip combines the best qualities of old-fashioned boiled dressing and fine mayonnaise. It's truly distinctive and delicious with a flavor millions of folks call just exactly right. Try it, won't you? One taste will tell you why it's America's favorite salad dressing, the one and only Miracle Whip.
Scene 8, 30 minutes later.
Well, Velie,
Sergeant, you look like an end man in a minstrel show.
Shovel coal, keep the furnace going. What else you gotta do on this job? Look at me, my wife will have a fit.
never mind your wife. Did you transfer all that coal to the other bin?
Yeah, and guess what we found under that coal, Inspector?
What, Velie?
Coal dust.
I'll get it. Hello? Just a minute, Ellery. Inspector, it's Ellery, and he's all agog.
Hello, son.
Dad, was little Jim under the coal?
He was not. Any more bright ideas, Mr. Queen?
Well, the coal was a long shot, but we had to eliminate it, Dad. Wait, I know where James Phillimore is.
Where?
In the only place left for him to hide.
I'm still listening.
You said Fillmore's study is off the foyer. You listed all the study furniture, but Dad, you left out one thing.
You're lying there in bed halfway across town and you're telling me I left out something? What?
Well, a study usually has a desk. You didn't mention one.
I didn't? Well, it's a fact there is a desk there. By thunder, Ellery, you're right. And it's one of those old-fashioned roll-top desks at that. Hold on. Velie, Ellery solved it.
He has, Inspector?
Where's he say little Jim's hiding?
In that roll-top desk, Velie. Search it.
Say, we did miss that before. Fillmore, come out of there. Huh?
It's empty.
Solved it. Ellery, you were wrong, my son. The desk is empty.
But it can't be.
Hang on a minute, Ellery. Velie, answer the front doorbell.
But I'll answer it, sir.
Biggs, you stay where you are. Velie, who is it?
Telegraph boy, Inspector, with a wire for Biggs.
I'll take that, sir.
You will not. Don't move. Velie, grab that wire.
Dad, who's that wire from?
Wait, this phone has a long cord. I'll take it out into the foyer. Hold on, son. Nikki, take the phone. Velie, give me that wire.
Here you are, Inspector Biggs. Stand still.
But it's my wire, sir.
The inspector's opening the telegram, Ellery.
For pity's sakes, what does it say, Nikki?
But it can't be. It's impossible.
Can I have a pass or something to get out of here? The guys at the gate say I gotta have a pass. I got other telegrams to deliver, you know.
Here, Velie, give him the pass.
Now scram, squirt. What's the wire say, Inspector?
Nikki, hand me that telephone. Ellery, listen to this. I can't believe it.
Can't believe what?
It's from James Phillimore. Yes, it's addressed to his man Biggs, and it says, got out of house as planned. Bring clothes and papers to meeting place agreed on, and it's signed James Phillimore.
Out of my way.
Velie, grab that man. Don't let Biggs get away.
Oh, no, you don't, flunky.
He grabs Biggs and they struggle.
Sergeant, look out!
Oh, yeah?
He tries vainly to get Biggs down on the floor.
Dad, for heaven's sakes, what's going on there?
Biggs tried to beat it. Velie's wrestling with him, trying to get him down on the floor, but he can't. What's the matter, Velie? Didn't you have your vitamins today?
I can't get this guy off his feet. Okay, brother, I'll cut you down to size.
He punches Biggs on the jaw. Biggs crashes to the floor.
What a fall was there, my countrymen.
Velie's got big, son. But how did little Jim get out of the house? I'll swear nobody left here.
Yes, of course.
Yes, of course what, Ellery?
Of course, I know where little Jim is.
Is that so? You thought you knew once before, Ellery, and you were wrong.
Dad, this time I'm positive. I've solved the problem of James Phillimore, the man who stepped back into his own house to get his umbrella and was never more seen in this world.
of dirt and grime and grease in just a minute. Mr. Clean will clean your whole house and everything that's in it. Floors, doors, walls, halls, my sidewall tires and old golf balls. Sinks, stoves, bathtubs he'll do, he'll even help with laundry too. Mr. Clean gets rid of dirt and grime and grease in just a minute. Mr. Clean will clean your whole house and everything that's in it. Can he clean a kitchen sink quicker than a wink? Can he clean a window sash faster than a flash? Can he clean a dirty mirror? He'll make it bright and clear. Can he clean a diamond ring? Mr. Clean cleans anything. Mr. Clean gets rid of dirt and grime and grease in just a minute. Mr. Clean will clean your whole house and everything that's in it. Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
Scene 9, only minutes have passed.
You've solved it, son? But what? Where? How?
Never mind now, Dad. Did you ask the telegraph messenger the obvious question?
Did I? What obvious question?
Oh, Lord, Dad, maybe it's still not too late. Where's the boy now?
He just left. Wait a minute. I still see him through the foyer window. Pickett's examining the pass I gave him at the front gate.
Good. Hold the boy, Dad, and bring him here to me. I'll ask that question myself.
The Queen apartment. 10 minutes later, they are all grouped around Ellery's bed.
Okay, so we got the messenger boy outside your room, Maestro. Now what?
Fine, Sergeant. Keep the boy there for a moment.
What I want to know, son, is where's James Phillimore?
Yes, Ellery. How did he get out of the house with a dozen detectives watching every possible exit?
It's simple, Nikki. Dad, just answer my questions. Is little Jim in that house now?
No, son. I'll stake my shield on that.
Well, if he isn't in the house, then he must be outside the house, right?
Naturally.
How many people left the house during the day, Dad? Not including yourself or the detectives.
I told you a dozen times, Ellery. Nobody left that house.
Oh, that's not so, Dad. 3 people left it.
3? Inspector, he's delirious.
Come. Didn't the Coalman come to the house and then leave it? That makes 2.
But they never stepped into the house, Ellery.
And I was with them every second while they sent the coal down the chute from the outside the house. Maestro, I even examined the truck before they left.
So little Jim wasn't in the truck, and he wasn't one of the coalmen, Ellery.
Oh, you're quite right about that. So that eliminates 2 of the 3 persons who left the house. Therefore, the 3rd person must be little Jim.
I've got it. Ellery, you're wrong. Little Jim never left the house at all, Inspector.
But Nikki, we searched it top to bottom. If he was in the house all the time, where was he?
He was right in front of your eyes, Inspector. Little Jim was Biggs, the servant.
He played 2 parts? Say.
Phillimore is 5'1", Nikki. Biggs is 6'4".
He faked the extra height, Inspector. Used stilts or something.
Stilts? Oh, no, Nikki. Velie actually wrestled with Biggs and couldn't even get him off his feet. If Biggs was on stilts, no matter how strong he was, you could have pushed him over. No, Nikki, no. Call in that telegraph boy. Sergeant, why don't you go ahead and do so, and I'll ask him the obvious question Dad forgot to ask.
What obvious question, for Pete's sake?
Here's the boy, Maestro.
What do you want, mister?
I want to ask you a question, Sonny. Here it is. You're James Phillimore, aren't you?
He's little Jim, Ellery? This boy?
What makes him a boy, Dad? His small size? His clean-shaven cheeks? His messenger's uniform? His high-pitched voice? No, he's not a boy. He's a man. James Phillimore, in fact. He must be. He's the only other person who left the house.
Think you're clever, don't ya?
Stand still.
I get it.
But Ellery, how did he leave the house in the first place in order to come back as the messenger?
He didn't leave it at all, Nikki.
Now I see it. He prepared his escape in advance. He had this telegraph messenger's uniform ready, and a telegram which he'd sent to himself some time ago. All he had to do today was change the date and reseal the envelope.
Yes, Dad. And when he spotted you this morning waiting for him outside the house, he quickly went back in, shaved off his beard, put on a uniform, told Biggs to play stupid, and then hid in the only place you did not search.
The roll-top desk.
Precisely. Just before I phoned about the desk, he saw that the coast was clear. Nobody was in the study or foyer, so he jumped out of the desk, ran to the front door, opened it, went out, and stood in the portico.
Then why didn't Piggott at the front gate see him, Ellery?
He couldn't, Sergeant. Remember when you and Dad first saw little Jim re-enter the house this morning? Dad said you lost him. Couldn't see him in the portico until you got closer to the front door. So then Phillimore rang the bell, delivered the telegram, and calmly asked for a pass to get him off the premises.
Making this little devil a real sneak. Come along quietly, Phillimore. I'll break you in little pieces.
Inspector Queen, Sergeant Velie, and James Phillimore exit.
That was a mighty clever plot, Ellery.
Wasn't it? I especially called your attention, my dear Nikki, the brilliant wording of little Jim's spurious telegram. It convinced Inspector Queen that this daring criminal had escaped when all the time he was in the house waiting for the pass from the inspector himself to get out.
Hey, where do you live, Neflo? I live in Idaho. And what do you eat, Neflo? Eat? Why, I eat Jell-O. Jell-O in those 6 delicious flavors: strawberry, raspberry, cherry, orange, lemon, and lime. Jell-O, 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 Jello. And now our cast of characters.
Narrator, Barbara Hodges.
Mr. James Fillmore, Mark Arnold.
Narrator, Susan Tuttle.
Coalman, Mark Arnold. Telegraph messenger, Mark Arnold.
Nikki Porter-Lida, Sideres.
Inspector Queen, Ellery's father, Rich Gamble.
Sergeant Velie-Victoria Heckman.
Ellery Queen, Tony Piazza.
On behalf of our cast from the Central Coast chapter of Sisters in Crime, I'd like to thank you for being here with us tonight. Be sure to listen in next week when our guest will be Bing Crosby. Good night and good luck from Maxwell House, America's #1 preferred brand of coffee.